Hello, Spurs fans. Tom Petrini back here in the great state of Texas. Uh, Vegas was fun though. I appreciate you guys sending me there. Still, really can't believe that you did that. But it was great to be at Thomas and Mack. It was great to see the Spurs young guys up close and personal. It was great to be in a building with so many people who care enough about basketball to go out to Vegas and watch the young guys in the preseason. So if you can make it out to Summer League next year, I highly recommend it. It's a really, really fun experience. Um, and gonna jump into a film breakdown in a second of some of the other guys. Done previous videos on Luka Šamanić and Keldon Johnson and Quindary Weatherspoon and Lonnie Walker. Um, this video is going to focus on sort of some of the unsung heroes of Summer League for the Spurs: Drew Eubanks, Thomas Robinson, Ben Moore. Eubanks is on a two-way deal with the Spurs, but Robinson and Moore are probably going to be looking for NBA opportunities elsewhere. Um, Before I jump into that, I just want to say thank you to you guys, my YouTube subscribers. I never really thought about using YouTube as a medium before, but I'm really glad that I did because you guys have really supported it a lot. Already at 500 subscribers, halfway to the 1,000 that'll get ad money on my videos and support me doing this. So I really appreciate you guys subscribing, liking, commenting, telling me what you want to see next. Um, and yeah, thank you so much. Um, I'm gonna keep bringing you these videos. So with that, let's get to the tape. Drew Eubanks is in the second year of his two-way deal, meaning he can only spend 45 days with the San Antonio Spurs this year, but he could be a solid third center in those games, and he's really going to make his money as a screener and a defender. Eubanks is a guy who sets hard screens and has great positional awareness, slips behind the defense, gets in great position regularly for dunks and layups. His timing, anticipation, and finishing ability are all really great. On this play, all 5 players are involved. See a double drag screen with Šamanić and Eubanks, and then right here we see Quindary Weatherspoon set a back screen for Eubanks, screening for the screener. Simple enough, but it gets a great open look for a dunk. It's solid finishing instincts from Eubanks, but also credit to the young guys for running a play so complicated so early in their professional careers. Here's Q Weatherspoon with the game on the line, pick and roll with Eubanks. Quick dive, gets in there, dunk with authority. Eubanks is always ready for plays like that. He's also really good at getting guys open with his screens. This feels like an unofficial Aaron Baines fan club video. Shout out to Drew Eubanks for his solid screens, but a lot of Lonnie Walker's buckets in his scorched earth Las Vegas Summer League were set up by Drew Eubanks screens. Not to say that it's all Drew, but a screen like that can really give Lonnie all the space he needs to get that jumper up. Chemistry between the screener and the ball handler is a really important thing, so it's good to see that Lonnie and Eubanks have a good baseline for that. They played a lot together in Austin last year. They might play a bit more in San Antonio together this year. In Summer League, Eubanks was killing guys off the catch, pump fake, and drive. That might just be a know your personnel thing for the opposing teams because Eubanks doesn't really have a great jumper. It's not something that he wants to do. Most of his buckets that weren't in the pick and roll were just a quick little, not even pump fake on a shot, but just freezing the defense a little bit and taking it to the rim. I don't think he's going to get many of these buckets at the next level. But it's good to see that he has that ability to put the ball on the floor and attack face up. Here, quick little post touch, quick move, and he's got that sky hook down. He is not going to get a ton of isolation possessions, but he can attack when he puts the ball on the floor. Eubanks plays with a very high activity level, especially on defense. Here we see him switched on a guard, has the foot speed to stay in front, and then smacks us off the backboard. He's exactly the kind of player that the Spurs want on defense in terms of switchability and in terms of his intensity. He's a really solid rim protector. He can switch out on the perimeter. He can do a lot of things for your team. Here he switches in the pick and roll two-handed block, which you rarely see. Thomas Robinson was the number 5 pick in 2011. Hasn't had a career that lives up to that hype. He's played in the G League and China, and he's trying to get back into the NBA. I suppose if one can dunk their way back into the NBA, Thomas Robinson is going to do it. He had some of the nastiest jams of all of Vegas Summer League. And it makes sense. He's 28 years old, and at times out there he looked like a man amongst boys. He is not to be trifled with near the basket. He is the kind of person where if he has a head of steam, you want to get out of his way and not end up in his poster. This one, pay attention to the little slide step right before he catches it right here. And then boom, buzzer beater jam. Stares his guy down a little bit. Nasty. He's a guy who has good instincts for getting to open areas. This is a nasty pass. A nice little dunk finish. He doesn't need to dunk to finish though. He has solid ability with both hands. He can get it done under the basket. He can finish on seals, on pick and roll. He's a very solid big man in terms of his finishing ability. Robinson is also a really solid rebounder, especially on the offensive end. He can bully his way to the rim. He gets into the dirty areas. He doesn't really let the other team get any easy boards if they come his way. He has nice timing on his jumps. He does a lot. And on this play, I mean, he looks like a bowling ball. Just bop, gets in on the tipped air ball. Nice little fader. That's tough. What he lacks in outside shooting, he makes up for in impressive playmaking for a player of his size. They're finishing with the left off the glass after a spin move here, spin move in transition, give it up, get it right back, dunk. He made some plays with the ball that made you stop and say, wait a second. He's very, very nimble for a man of that size. So why isn't he in the league? Well, he said recently that a former team executive told him he needed to work on his basketball IQ. And also his perimeter defense leaves a lot to be desired. He gets blown past by smaller, quicker guys, and sometimes he'll leave a man open on the perimeter and just not even close out. His effort level was very high for most of Summer League, but there were a couple plays where it made you question. The Spurs could have made Ben Moore a restricted free agent, but they decided not to, and he spent all of Summer League trying to make them regret that decision. He played really well. He played very intense basketball. And in the offense, he's really at his best cutting and finishing. Seems simple, stand under the basket and put your hands out, but if you're not making eye contact with the player who's passing the ball, you have to have pretty good chemistry, pretty good understanding. And these two, Lonnie Walker and Ben Moore, played together a bunch in Austin last year. But he has great hands down low and makes good decisions with the ball, a lot of touch finishes, a lot of dunks too. He has a knack for getting open underneath the basket, and he has great instincts for finding lanes when they open up and hitting them at the right time with the right speed. It's not all go all the time. He just gets to the right spots when he's supposed to be there and finishes usually. He can get seals and do some work down low, but he really doesn't have the body of an NBA big man. He projects more as a wing. He doesn't really have a great outside shot, but he has some ability to put the ball on the floor, make plays, get it into the paint, get buckets. It's great that he can attack off the dribble like this, but he really does need an outside shot if he wants to crack a rotation at the next level. He's not a high assist total guy, but the vision and skill necessary for some of these passes really jumped out to me. Because he's a dangerous finisher, he draws a lot of attention when he's near the basket, and that opens up other guys. And he shows a really high skill level for identifying that and getting the ball to his teammates. Now, he's not exactly a point forward, but still, some of these passes are tough to do, and it's good to see that he has that ability. He really stuck out on the defensive end of the floor, where just on pure effort alone, it looked like he was trying to make an NBA roster. He was all over the place. He was swallowing dudes up. He was playing his heart out defensively, and he can switch too. He has a tough time making things happen for himself, especially in the post against length. But if he develops that three-point shot a little bit, shot 37% in Austin last year from three, he shouldn't play too much inside. He should be more of a wing player at the next level. So So there you have it, Spurs fans. Those are three big men who had an impact on this summer league team. Drew Eubanks is gonna play with San Antonio this year, a maximum of 45 days. I think he's basically gonna function as the third center behind LaMarcus Aldridge and Yak Pirtle. He's gonna give those guys nights off when they need them. I really like his activity level, his hands, his feet, his feel for the game, and I like his chemistry with Lonnie Walker both on and off the court. They spent a lot of time together last year in Austin, going back and forth. They have that, shared bond, and they're constantly joking around with each other on the sideline, on Twitter. They really enjoy each other. And Thomas Robinson and Ben Moore, they won't play in San Antonio this year. They might stay with Austin, but they both are guys who could probably find something better out there. And if they do, I say best of luck. I'm going to do a video on Lonnie Walker's last Summer League game, definitely ever, where he proved he didn't need to be there anymore. Let me know what you want to see after that. I'm also working on a video on Damari Carroll and Trey Lyles and how they'll fit in next year. So, yeah, open to suggestions. Let me know. Until next time, go Spurs go.